So next we're going to talk about measuring a disease frequency, and a couple of the words that you might hear whenever we're talking about frequency are incidence and prevalence. So first off, let's make a distinction by saying incidence. An incidence is the rate of occurrence of new cases during a given period. So key point here is that we're talking about all the new cases of people that might be within a certain population, and again, it's based on a specific population that we're observing. Prevalence, the number of existing cases, old and new, in a defined population. So in this case, prevalence is a reference to the total number of cases in a certain point in time for a specific population. We've got this graphic here for the purposes of trying to really understand it. So you got a creek at the top, you have the incidences, how many new cases are occurring at the very top. More downstream, we've got the prevalence. That's where everything is collecting into a pool of all cases. Next thing we want to talk about is how some of those rates are collected. We use those rates and we compare individuals, say, that have a specific characteristic within a specific population. Take, for example, you're comparing an individual who ate at a restaurant versus someone who did not eat at a restaurant, but both are living within a specific area. And did one get a foodborne illness and one didn't? Maybe in that case we could track a foodborne illness back to that specific restaurant. Another example would be men versus women. The rate at which the men versus women drive drunk. You know, what factors make up a particular outcome or disease, and then we take those factors and we try to determine what action we would want to take. And again, we want to remind you, the rate is the number of cases within a specific population, or a population we've identified might be at risk. So we've got a little scenario here to try to explain or try to show some of the things that we've been talking about. And this is a scenario of unexplained pneumonia. You can see here the dates start from July 21st, ending in the evening of August 2nd. So July 21st through the 24th, we're at a convention in the American Legion in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Following that, from July 22nd to August 1st, 18 deaths were reported among some of the conventioneers, the people that were attending that convention. On the morning of August 2nd, a healthcare provider at a veterans hospital in Philadelphia calls the CDC to report cases of a severe respiratory illness among attendees of the American Legion convention, and in the evening of August 2nd, 71 additional cases were reported. So this is our scenario, this is what we're walking into. Now what's the epidemiology approach to this? Well, we would collect some data. Step one is looking at the data. We're looking at Legionnaires' disease by age group. So the first thing we would try to see is how many cases are there. So from this chart, the whole data is provided, but the first thing we would do is look at the frequency, the new cases. You know, which group has the highest total of sick individuals in this? You know, well, just at a glance, you see 50 through the ages of 50 through 59 had a lot of sick individuals, and you would say, well, maybe this disease, whatever it is specifically attacking this age group, or this age group is more susceptible to this disease. But epidemiology, and of course the use of rate, like we were talking about, gives us a better look to understand who is actually more susceptible. So by taking into account the total number of attendees, we can create a rate to see who is being more affected. In this case, even though the age group of 50 through 59 had more sick individuals, the total population of that age group was much higher. So the rate is actually higher for those that are over 70, meaning that those individuals were getting sick at a higher rate. Those people were probably more at risk. So that would give us an insight. We can start making inferences and try to assess what those age groups have that may be making them more susceptible. What qualities or lack of qualities do they have? So take that into account and let's do a quick knowledge check.